no losers in this game. We all get a trophy. The goal is simply to make it as hygge as possible and everyone wins. You can use the questions pretty much as you see fit, but here are a few tips. Don't care. Don't care. We can't play it like that anyways because you guys are somewhere else. And it's not in real time. So we'll just play it this way. First, housekeeping. If you're new here, hello, welcome to my nonsense. If you're old here, welcome back. Oh geez. If you're new here, please consider hitting the subscribe. It's a free way to help the channel grow. Hit the notification bell. If you're old here, make sure you're subscribed. Hit the notification bell. There's something in my hair. Hit the like if you like, and as always, I will link my tip jars in the description so you can tip your local neighborhood, internet neighborhood ASMR artist. Absolutely no pressure, but anything helps. Alright. This is actually really fun. I played this, 20 minutes ago with you guys, and it was pretty thought-provoking, so leave a comment if you want to answer any of these questions or just say hello. Anything nice, leave a comment if you can. Alright, I'm going to read all 3 questions on the card, and then I will answer 1 or 2 if I have quick answers and they're not going to make me just sit here in silence while I think for a long time. Why do you think so many marriages end in divorce? Do you think you have the right personality for sales? What invention has the greatest impact on human culture and civilization? The dog is snoring down there now. So if you hear weird noises, it is my dog, Mondito, my senior dog. He is 15 pounds and very old. The older he gets, the louder he snores. Probably the same for me. Why do I think so many marriages end in divorce? Because they weren't compatible in the first place. I think that, I'm guilty of it too. Even in my current relationship, there was stuff we should have talked about before we committed. We're okay. Like, we've managed a lot of our issues, but there should be some kind of questionnaire and some kind of relationship counseling that you can get. But who's really gonna sign up? You just go in assuming, well, I like this person and they're a good person. It will work, right? And that's not even talking about you go into relationships with people that aren't good people. It's never gonna work. But even 2 good people can have to go their own separate ways because they just can't compromise enough, or they just can't learn a lesson, or they can't put their pride away, or they can't I don't know, they just can't mesh well together. Do I have the right personality for sales? Absolutely not. I hate sales. I don't want to sell anybody anything. It makes me nauseous just thinking about it. I don't want to talk to people all day long selling something. Like, I want to talk about cool stuff, but I do not want to talk about the same product all day long and try to sell you something you might not even be interested in. Do you always sleep on the same side of the bed? Who in your family has a personality that is least like everyone else's? If you could be reincarnated as an animal, what animal would you choose? Do I always sleep on the same bed? Yes. How do you not? Your stuff is on your side. How do you not always live on the same side of the bed? Who in my family has a personality that is least like everyone else's? We're all a little similar because we're all neurodivergent. So even though we all have our own quirks, we're all pretty similar. My genes are strong. Okay. Have you ever cut your own hair? Oh, a million times. Have you ever won a contest English. Even though it was a snore, it was pretty easy. Okay. What would you like to be able to experience for the first time again? Are you a traditionalist or a risk taker? What teacher had the greatest impact on you? What would I like to be able to experience for the first time again? Having a baby, that's a really, not labor, but seeing a baby, your baby for the first time ever is crazy. You're like, plus like you were just going through all this pain and then it's such a relief and it's euphoria. And are you a traditionalist or a risk taker? I'm not a risk taker. I should probably be more of a risk taker, but I also have really bad luck. So anytime I've even tried to take a risk, it's been not a good outcome. So then why would I keep doing it? But also you can't really get ahead without taking risks either. What is something you learned in school that you've never had any use for in the real world? A lot of stuff we did in gym was nonsense. Like, just let us walk. Don't make us do this stupid line dancing, roller skating. Bowling was fun. We did get to go bowling. They would drive. It was crazy though, because they would pick us up from the school, drive us to a bowling alley. We'd get to bowl for like 10 minutes, and then we'd have to get back because, that period was only an hour, 45 minutes or something. Should advertising to children be prohibited? Prohibited is a strong word, but that would be nice. I think it would be healthy if there was no advertising to children. Have you ever said I love you without meaning it? Oh, I've said I love you by accident to like on randomly ending a phone call, like, okay, love you, bye. And I'm like, what? That was a sales call. Or like, not a sales call, but like, what? Just out of habit, okay, love you, bye. What old classmate would you be happy to hear from out of the blue and have dinner with? What is the best song ever written? Did you ever hide anything from your parents when you were a kid? What is the best song ever written? Like, I can't tell you what the best song ever written was. I have a video on songs that I really like, but I will tell you, I'll sub that question for what song have I been listening to a lot lately is Garbage number 1 Crush. Did I ever hide anything from my parents when I was a kid? I had to hide everything from them because they were assholes. So what did I hide from them? I was not allowed to have my chalkboard inside the house. I had like a, chalkboard. And so I would it was supposed to be in the shed only, like so stupid. But I would sneak it in and play with my chalkboard. And then I remember my mom found chalk dust in my room, like whoop-de-freaking-do. And I got grounded. Would you ever consider having children with a person you are not in love with? Do it. Do it. If you have not had kids yet. If you have not had kids yet. I am, through my experiences, like I have a baby with my fiance now, we're good. But if you're young and you want to have a child and you think you need to go fall in love and then get married and then have a child, I just have seen so many don't. I think that the new wave should come where you have a baby with a friend and you make a whole co-parenting agreement comes in and they want, like they have dark hair originally, and then they dye their hair light, and so they want a light eyebrow. And I'm like, actually, your brows should match the color of your, almost match the color of your brow hair. And they're like, no, I'm a blonde now. I'm like, yeah, but that's not even what your skin, we go by skin, not hair, so it's not what your skin is calling for. It's gonna look. But if you want to go light, okay. If it doesn't show up that much, don't blame me. Do you think IQ tests are a true measure of intelligence? I mean, of certain intelligences, yes, but it's not all encompassing. What movie do you wish they'd make a sequel to? Should students get to grade their teachers? What is the strangest thing you have ever eaten? So should students get to grade their teachers? I wouldn't say grade, but definitely at work too, I think there should always be surveys going around, anonymous surveys going around, where concerns can be addressed, because there's teaching is one of those professions, also nursing, where there's so many great people, but it is also a position of power. So a lot of high school mean girls will get into these jobs so that they can still be a mean girl. There's that, and then you see it all the time, teachers that are inappropriate. So I think that a survey, not a grade, but a survey, and you can write down anything and it can be examined. I think that's necessary. How is that not a thing? That blows me. What movie do I wish there would be a sequel to? We just watched Willow the other night, and I thought there was a sequel to it, so I was like, oh yay, there's a sequel, but it ends up that it is Willow is from like the 80s, and it's my Star Wars, like it's my fan. I love it. I love Willow. So when I saw that there was another Willow on Disney Plus, I was like, okay, well, let's rewatch Willow, because my fiance has never seen Willow. So we rewatched it, and for days I was around the house. It was like a few nights ago. I just couldn't stop with my Willow lines. I've been driving everybody crazy with my Willow lines. Sorry. But we went on Disney Plus to pull up the sequel, but it's not a sequel. It is a series. And you know what? It's more sci-fi. There's like monster. It's just, I was like, really? So, I don't know. It probably would have been a Willow. In a movie way, and in a good way. Describe a time when your first impression of a person was completely wrong. Never. Do you believe in good luck? Well, I can't really okay, no, never. I have been, even when I look back at my crap relationships, it was there. I was just into self-harm or fixing, or so yeah, never. What I am realizing as I get older is to stop ignoring myself, because that's what I did for a long time. I ignored my intuition. Do you believe in good luck charms? I'm a little superstitious. What does Michael Scott say? I'm stitious, but not superstitious. Was there anything that you were exceptionally good at when you were younger? Guys, I'm not that great at anything. And not only that, I didn't get to work at anything. I didn't get to practice anything because, like I've mentioned, I was a slave, like in the sense of I worked, I babysat my siblings for every single day from when I was 10 to almost 16. So I didn't get to like practice anything. it wasn't uniforms when I went there. It's public school. It was not uniforms when I went there, but somewhere in between, it switched to uniforms. It was the best thing ever. You could wear khakis and a polo, or you could wear spirit wear. So your kids weren't spending hours or half hours in their closet, you know, what should I wear today? What should I wear today? They were pretty affordable, and then also kids weren't judged on what they were wearing. Still, there was still bullying, like about shoes and stuff, don't get me wrong. And we were broke. I was a single mom. But uniforms were very helpful, and then they would have these sales too, where like once you were done with your kids' school clothes, you could sell them. We had neighborhood kids that needed them, so I always gave them to the neighborhood kids, but you could go to these sales. They would have a day where you brought your stuff to the gym or something, or one in the cafeteria, put all your stuff out, and then you could go buy your kids next to your sizes. So that, I just think it was a really good idea. Out here, the school system where I'm at right now in Iowa, you know, a lot of people from this country probably think Iowa is like, I don't know what they think of it, but it's, and a lot of Iowa probably is what you think of it, but where I'm at, this school system is popped. It's the worst school system I've ever been a part of, or it's bad. It's bad. These kids, they hurt each other, they bully each other, there's no repercussions. The teachers and the staff have just completely given up, and it is unfortunate that we can't afford public schooling. I've tried to talk my teenager into doing online or homeschooling, and she's like, no, but it's bad out here, you guys. Bad. These kids are, we have a big problem. These kids are basically straight up criminals. And I say that as somebody that grew up around criminals, you know, like, and lived a lot of my life around criminals. These kids are starting early. They're the car theft around here. Now this is not car theft chop shop. This is not chop shop car theft. This is bad teenagers that do not know how to hotwire. That they just go into every car and they take it. They go into every car, look for keys, pop the garage. If your car is on, pop the garage, look around your door for keys. Like, these kids are bad. It's always teenagers. They go joyriding and they get a slap on the wrist over and over and over again. I don't know why. If anybody knows why, let me know. Why would a location tolerate that? Like, if you're bad like that, then you're bad. If you're bad like that, you have, it's not like, I'm sorry, but if you're bad like that, you're gonna have to get a punishment. That's not a laughing matter. That's not a lapse of judgment. It's a pattern, and it's going to get worse. Not only that, but they take the cars and then they like speed race them, because the cops are not allowed to, and I get it, I kind of get it, the cops are not allowed to go over like do a high-speed chase, because it gets so dangerous. So they just try to outrun the cops. And then there's, I mean, it's I don't know if this is going on anywhere else, because it's not even like this up in Chicagoland. Like, this is a weird thing that's happening around here, to the point where there's billboards that say, like, you know, make sure your car is locked, make sure your house is locked, like, and I don't know, like, what the parents of these kids are doing, because at a certain point, yes, I do hate when, I'm on a total tangent here, I hate when people say, well, where were the parents? In general, I do hate that kind of comment, because you don't hold your teenager's hand every minute. So, and teenagers throughout history, their brains aren't totally working right. members do you look like the most? Describe a time when you helped a stranger. In what ways do I make people's lives better? Well, I do cosmetic tattoo, and it actually, it's for people that want it. You know, I would never sit there and be like, you should do this, you should do that. But if you have sparse brows, or you have like just something that you don't feel like dealing with every day, then I slap it on you, and you don't have to do it every day, and I don't have to see it back for a year and a half. So my work, I do get a lot of, what's the word? I can never think of words when I need the rewarding experiences from my work. I'm a mom and a wifey, so a lot of my time is spent making other people's lives better. They have laundry, they have dishes, they have meals, they have a clean house. I do ASMR, so hopefully I've put a few people to sleep that couldn't sleep. Which of your family members do you look like the most? I think I'm straight down the middle of my mom's side and my dad's side, but I will say that my stepdad, like whenever he sees me, he's like, oh my god, you look just like your mom. When I cut my hair off and put on glasses, I do look just like my mom, but I think my sister looks more like my mom than me. And we don't even look alike. Me and my sister do not look alike. Describe a time when you helped a stranger. Okay. I remember I used to go to breakfast at this little like mom and pop breakfast place. And this is when like door dashing, Uber Eats first got started. And in this town, the police are just a-holes. Most of them are total a-holes, like any little infraction. I don't know how that becomes a thing. It's a small town, and they make more money than the bigger towns, like through ticketing and stuff. So like, I mean small population and small space, and then they were bringing in more money than the other big towns with, like, this was a more upscale town too, so they were bringing in more money than the towns with more crime, bigger towns with more crime. And you could not mess up at all, speeding wise. I mean, if you were going 5 over, you were getting a ticket, and if you were local, you knew that, so like, then I guess it's your own fault, you know. But if you weren't, you didn't. And all of their cars were like, I don't know what the word for it is. A police department will confiscate vehicles if you get a DUI or whatnot, which I don't know how that works. Maybe, I don't know if it's your first DUI. Granted, nobody should be. That is a serious offense, and I will say that I'm older, and I will be like, whoa, wow, like that's way bigger than I thought it was. Even just a little bit, you know. Now I know. But so they would confiscate vehicles, and a nice vehicle, they would turn it into their cop cars, and most of the police department's cars were not a regular issued police vehicle. It was a confiscated car, and so they were all hidden. They were all in unmarked trucks, in unmarked cars, in unmarked, you know, muscle cars. And they would hide and give tickets. But so one time I was at the breakfast spot, and I was finishing up eating, and there was a lady that ran. She pulled up front, which is what a lot of door dashers do. She pulled up front to go in and grab the like, she didn't use a parking spot, she pulled up front. And I guess that's, you know, a fire lane, I get it. But she was up front, and she ran in to grab the food, and then she was heading back out to her car, and a cop was out there when I was leaving, and he was writing her a ticket. And I just got irritated and just had a moment, you know. And I just, while the cop was standing there, because I had to get to work, I handed her $65, and he was pissed. Oh, his ego. Oh my god, he gave me the death stare. Like, what do you care? is something going on. Oh my god, we're at 30 minutes. Alright, I will quit there. I will quit there. If you are still there, I hope you have a good